when these guys make this announcement affecting these guys, it causes a cluster. Okay folks, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting to have to make a video about bad news within our train sim community twice within 7 days. What the hell's going on? So first of all, last week we lost Vulcan Productions from the Train Sim Circle, who for their own reasons have decided to split ways. However, the shock announcement from DTG yesterday about removal of 6 products from the Steam store prompted me to make this video because it is actually quite a significant issue and it's not the first time that we have seen it. So the announcement came out around about supper time yesterday and it is a bit of a surprise one. And as you can see on screen, it obviously states with Arriva trains basically not really a thing anymore in Wales. They've decided to pull those 6 items listed from the Steam store. And you're probably thinking, why the hell have they done that? Is it over the branding? You are right, it is over the branding. And it is a significant issue because it's not just affecting us as consumers, it's affecting developers. Now DTG, obviously, it doesn't affect them as much as third-party developers, but I'll get onto the third party shortly. But this is not the first time that DTG have taken items down and then we're never going to see the light or day of them again. We have seen this before. Now, for those of you buggers who are quite smart, you're going to go, yes, I remember the last time this happened. And that was with North Wales Coastal and the Virgin Trains First Generation pack. And I raised this as a good example of 2 products, yet again, that have disappeared, have been pulled because of branding issues. Now, Virgin Trains are obviously on their game with branding issues. So Virgin as a brand as a whole. So obviously they were pulled quite relatively quickly, I'd say. They were a very big concern. So that's it, pulled, not sold anymore. And that raises questions in my mind. That raises huge questions. Like, why haven't we seen just debranded, re-released products so people can enjoy them, you know, and continue to use them? I mean, we've had some great DLC come out, and the Welsh stuff is also included in this, where it's now being pulled because of a branding issue, and no one else can basically enjoy the DLC. It's going to affect third-party developers as well. Now, this will affect DTG because these are the people who drew up about 90% of these items, and they're going to lose out the money on it. So that's their problem. But at the same time, what they've done is they've also screwed over other people, including the consumer, yet again, because there's no other alternative. And it just doesn't add up. It really does not add up one iota. So, you know, I'm not best pleased about it, and neither are a lot of other people. But North Wales Coastal and the Virgin Trains pack were definitely 2 of the first that I can remember that ended up having this problem. Now, I can't be the only person who thinks that DTG are being complete and utter gits about this, to put it politely. The problem is, what they've done is, they've obviously had a licensing agreement, and you know what it's like with branding and legal stuff, it's an absolute cluster. It really is an absolute cluster. So, they've obviously had this licensing deal. They've said, right, we sign up, we can have the branding as long as you exist, blah blah blah. And then obviously as soon as that basically company disappears, that's it, end of license agreement. And I can't see the logic in it, but at the same time, DTG have shot themselves in their own foot. They're going to lose out on money from these products now, and so are other developers, which I'll get onto in a bit. But they're screwing over the consumer because obviously reviews, word of mouth, tantalizing screenshots and videos are what encourage people to buy these different routes and different pieces of DLC, rolling stock scenario packs, etc. And all of that is going to be still extant on the internet, but no one's going to be able to buy it. You know, it doesn't make any logic. To me, and there surely is a way they can do this, they would be better off debranding stuff where necessary and re-releasing the route. Maybe even backdate it and make it a payware version, payware version of the whole route in BR Blue or the 90s or something, where they can get away with the branding problems a lot easier. They can work around it a lot easier. And it's truly shocking and disgusting about how they've gone about sorting this all out. It truly is. And as you'll find out later, it's impacted a lot of other people. Changing the record slightly, the one thing I will point out is the way that they set up the Southwest Coastal routes for sale was a bit of a con. Let's not forget that they actually brought out, I believe it was Bristol Cardiff as its own route, and then they brought out Bristol to Swansea as its own entity, which was a bit of a poor marketing ploy. Clever, but also wrong at the same time. So yeah, again, DTG just proving they're not really that ethical. But that plays into hands now, because with the sale going on last second, people are now at danger of buying the wrong one. They can end up buying both of them, which will end up duplicating. So people are just better off buying the Bristol Swansea version. So obviously what I'm going to do is, in the description, I'm going to leave the link to the bits of DLC I recommend people buy. And work around it that way. But yeah, this decision's affecting third-party developers as well. And I'll leave the big one till last. But the withdrawal of these products, the products that were shown at the beginning, are affecting third-party developers in the freeware world. I mean, people like Backdated Train Sim, who did a backdated version of the North Wales Coastal, and I believe it's Danny's Route something or other. I've forgotten the name of the page, I do apologise. But even Danny's been affected by this, because he did a route merge of, I believe, Bristol, Swansea and the Welsh Marches line. So you get quite a comprehensive network here. You can do a fair few workings with that. And that's been affected. So DTG are losing out on sales because now people can't do the route merge. And people can't get the route merge because they will not be able to buy the core routes. It's a fantastic situation. It is an absolute mess. However, in my mind, the biggest loser here, losing out on a lot of this, is Bossman Games. And I feel very sorry for Ben Jervis and his team. The Welsh Marches probably is now going to hold the record for the shortest lived DLC for Train Simulator released on Steam. By the time it gets withdrawn, it probably would have just been about 5 months. Okay, great record, yeah, but it's not something to celebrate. I mean, the amount of work that got put into the Welsh Marches route was absolutely phenomenal. It is a fantastic route. I love it. I absolutely love the route. I think it's great. And it does contain a high amount of DTG assets, which is the reason why it's being withdrawn. Ben Jervis stated that himself in Railsim Users Group on the post. But what Ben Jervis has proved to me is he's taken DTG assets and he's made a completely custom route with it. And it runs absolutely smooth as silk. I get no frame lag issues or anything. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic route. So he's just taken stuff and made a great route out of it, and that's been taken away from him. He's not being rewarded for the effort, and DTG won't let him keep the route up, even with debranding, because of the amount of assets. And that's stupid. It is absolutely, utterly stupid. So, we're going to lose out on 6 products and this fantastic route along the Welsh Marches. It's not even been out 5 minutes and now they're already snatching it away from us. I think it's absolutely ludicrous. So the one thing I do hope is that Ben Jervis and his team find a way of circumventing that. And I dare say it might not happen because of the amount of work involved. But even if it was to be backdated maybe to, say, the BR Blue era, perhaps we could get away with it. Obviously it would mean new custom assets and it would take time and money. But it would be nice to see this route exist in some form after this whole debacle has been sorted out. But again, this is what I'm saying. The decisions that DTG make and their silly licensing agreements that they have with these companies is what's screwing over our community. It's screwing over the choice of the consumer. It's screwing over the third-party developers who want to make stuff to work with these routes and assets or merged them together, and it's screwing over very talented people like Ben Jervis and his team from actually doing what they love. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is not the first time that DTG have made a very silly decision, and it's definitely not going to be the last one either. I find the whole thing ludicrous. It really is ludicrous, and it is absolutely boiling my urine, because developers are going to lose out on money from this. Sod DTG, that's their own problem, but developers are going to lose out on money. And let's be fair, people like Ben Jervis, this is like their full-time job. This is their full-time job. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot just willy-nilly say, right, that's it, end of license agreement, take that product away. That's someone's living. DTG are a larger company than people think. So, don't worry about DTG not having any money. They've got money, trust me. But, with people like Ben Jervis and his team, his testers, his other developers who are with him on the side and everything else, this is their income, this is their bread and butter. This is going to adversely affect developers if stuff like this continues. It gets to a point where we have to question ourselves, when is enough enough? How many more products are going to encounter this goddamn problem? Let's be fair, the first sign of any problems with any branding was when Armstrong Powerhouse did the Class 91 pack, I believe it was, and then it'd been hot water because the Virgin branding being included, and you had to pay for that portion, which is how the branding patch thing came about, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But, Virgin are very big up on their image. Yeah, okay, fair enough, I'm not going to argue with them. But Arriva Trains Wales, Arriva, really? Really? Arriva are Deutschbahn. Arriva and Deutschbahn are the same bloody company. How many Deutschbahn locos and assets do we have in Train Sim? We have loads, including the German stuff. So why should it make any bloody difference whether Arriva Trains Wales lives or not? Because, end of the day, it's the same parent company. It literally makes zero bloody sense. Absolutely nonsensical bullcrap. That's what it is. It's absolutely non-bloody sensical. I really do not get it. And I don't think many of you guys do who watch this video do either. And you know what? I don't blame you. I truly do not blame you. The only thing I can really say is I honestly wish, and I truly do wish, that Ben Jervis and his team managed to circumvent this licensing issue problem in some way or form. And either that means a rework of the Welsh Marches route or otherwise. I know that is going to be a big tall order. Ben might not ever do it, which is fair play to him. It would be a considerable lot of work once again after having such a hell of a kick in the teeth from DTG. I'm just happy for Bossman Games to carry on with what he's making and what's forthcoming. And if he wishes to focus on that, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But this really does rattle my cage. It really rattles my cage. And you guys should be rattled about it as well. Because, if no one's going to stand up for this damn stuff, who is? Who's going to stand up for these issues if no one else is? Honestly, go out there, bombard DTG, tell them how wrong they are, tell them we need a workaround. Tell them that. I want people to do that. Because it will show them there's actually more heart to the train community than their stupid business agreements. That's the thing. Yeah, they are a commercial entity making products. They have to stick to agreements, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I understand that. But at the same bloody time, we're the consumers here. We're the ones being affected. We're having choice taken away from us from a large repertoire of routes and add-ons. It is absolutely bizarre. We've already had 2 bouts of bad news this week. I'm just waiting for the third one, and I really, truly hope that the third one's not going to be really bad. I really hope not, because I don't think we need it right now. We really don't. Moving on from that, I'm going to give my recommendations now as to what you should buy. So, what I recommend you buy are the following products. The Welsh Marches line, which is made by Bossman Games, sold through Steam. The Arriva Trains Wales DMU pack. Bristol to Swansea, South Wales Coastal. Make sure it is the Bristol to Swansea version. It's currently registering around on sale for about £8, so you know you have the right one there. And I also suggest you get the South Wales Coastal Scenario Pack 01. And there's good reasons why I make those choices. So, Welsh Marches, fantastic route. Why not? Get it while you can. You've got no reason not to buy it. Bristol to Swansea, I suggest you get that version rather than the shortened one, because the shortened one is a scam, as far as I'm concerned. So get Bristol Swansea, you're going to get South Wales Coastal. That also means with those two routes you can do a route merge to merge those two routes together. I suggest you get the Arriva Trains Wales DMU pack, which is selling for £1.49. That includes 158 Pacers. Yeah, that's it, 158 and the Pacers. I believe you get the 175 with North Wales Coastal anyway. So if you do that, that'll be a really good buy, because that means your scenarios will end up working. So you'll have more stuff to work with your scenarios. And I suggest buying Scenario Pack 01 so you get extra scenarios for the route. And they're all very engaging. Other DLC will be applied to those scenarios, so make sure you have all the requirements. So, on that note, yeah, I really didn't have to, I'm lost for words. I really did not wish to make this video. A second time in 7 days that I have ended up having to make this video, or make a video about something that's going on in the train sim world. It needs to stop. It really needs to stop. So let's hope that the next video I do can say some good news for you. Anyway, this has been the Brucie-Magik production. Thank you very much for watching and listening to my rambles, and I'll see you again next time.